Don't buy a Jeep Gladiator Mojave if you're one of these. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Automotive JT. And that's right, if you're one of these, don't buy a Jeep Gladiator Mojave. And what I'm talking about is an introvert. You know, I've made videos like this before, but I gotta say, as I've been the owner of a Jeep Gladiator Mojave for a little while now, I guess I didn't realize how true this really is. Now, what am I talking about? Don't buy a Jeep Gladiator if you're an introvert. Well, first of all, when you buy a Jeep Gladiator or drive a Jeep Gladiator, people are going to want to talk to you. You are going to be noticed. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, it's a relatively still new concept, new vehicle. I mean, a Jeep truck, there are still a lot of folks out there who have not seen a Jeep truck or are not familiar with it. And they want to ask you about it. They want to know, how does it feel? Do you like it? Would you buy it again? What is it? That's the first thing that people usually ask. What is it? And is it custom? You know, did you have the rear end added? Did you add a bed to it? These are people who aren't familiar. And believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there who are not diehard car or truck enthusiasts. So you're going to run into those folks. They really just want to know what it is. You know, I had told a story. This video is going to be full of stories, by the way. I had told a story before about being at Walmart. I was at the Walmarts. I had come out, and I noticed a lady. I'm always paying attention anyway because I'm paranoid, I guess. But I had noticed a lady pull in the car, and she pulled in right across from me, one space over. And I could just tell she wanted to talk to me. You know, you always can feel it when somebody's going to approach you if you're paying attention. And sure enough, I put my stuff in the back. I got in the truck. I started it up. I'm checking my phone as I always do because I'm an addict. And she knocks on my window. And I'm like, oh no. And I had thought she wanted money or who knows what it was about. So I didn't even roll down my window. I just said, no, you know, like that, no. And she gets this confused look on her face. Well, I'm like, okay, so she persists. Roll down your window. So I rolled down my window and I said, hello, can I help you? I mean, I was nice. I wasn't rude or anything. And she wanted to talk about the Jeep Gladiator, said that her husband was in the market for a new truck and wanted to know about it. Well, I felt bad, first of all, and I apologized to her. I said, I just didn't know what you wanted. I said, I'm sorry. And then we talked about it for just a couple seconds. It wasn't too long. So that's one example. People, strangers are going to approach you, and you should be prepared for that. It's not always a bad thing. So then there's my mother. She owned this Jeep Gladiator Mojave before. She goes to the grocery store or whatever. So she was at the grocery store, and it's funny with her. It always seems that when she goes there, people park next to her, other Jeep Gladiators. Well, she pulled in, and sure enough, she came out, just happened to be at the same time another one's pulling in to park beside her, and he wants to talk about the Jeep Gladiator. He has his, and he liked hers, and it was just kind of interesting to hear, and I know that's happened other places with her as well. Driving down the road, it does definitely garner more attention. I get more waves in this Jeep. You know, there's the Jeep wave anyway, you know, the subtle or the, you know, I get both. But I've noticed that since I've been driving this, I get waves more frequently from other Jeep owners than I did before. Just a couple days ago, I pulled up to a stoplight. There was an older Jeep Wrangler two-door, nice looking Jeep. The guy pulls up beside me, I look over, and sure enough, he looks over and he's waving and I wave, and it's just kind of cool. I think it's awesome. I like that. It's kind of like a camaraderie, if you will, between Jeep owners. Kind of like motorcycles. If you've ever ridden a motorcycle or owned a motorcycle, they all wave. It is unusual when somebody on a motorcycle approaching you or even pulling up next to you at a stoplight or something doesn't wave. Happens all the time. Typically it's the down to the side with the left hand kind of double finger wave. But it's cool. Again, it's kind of a camaraderie between motorcycle owners. Now, I did have another occurrence. I was at the gas station, And that's one thing I want to say about the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. If you don't like going to the gas station and being out around other people, if you're introverted in that way, you might want to consider not getting a Jeep Gladiator Mojave because it's thirsty. Right now I'm getting, and it's actually improved a little bit, I'm getting a little over 13 miles per gallon. It was a little over 12 when I got it. So we're increasing it. It's because my driving style, of course, is different than my mother was. And I've heard that vehicles will learn your driving style and maybe get a little bit better. Who knows if there's any truth to that? I like to think that there is. But I'm at the gas station. I'm filling it up. Of course, it was thirsty. It took a lot of gas. I waited a while that time. I'm actually getting lower on gas right now. But I'm standing there, and sure enough, somebody pulls up next to me, and they strike up a conversation about the Gladiator. You know, and this one in particular, I mean, it's the Snazberry Red, so it's a striking color. It's a color that you're not going to miss. It really pops, and it draws attention no matter whether you are interested in the Jeep Gladiator or not. People see it, they're going to be very curious about it just because of the color alone. So we talked about it for a couple minutes. He did say that he liked them. I think he was driving, if I recall, it was an older truck, full size. I think it was a Chevy, but I don't remember. I really didn't pay any attention because I was more focused on talking to this guy than I was about the truck itself. So you are going to get a lot of attention. Now, it's really not just Jeep Gladiator Mojave specific. It's really just the Jeep Gladiator as a whole. And again, I believe it is because it is new, it looks different. You know, there's nothing else like it on the road. Trucks generally look the same, you know, I think anyway, your traditional truck. I mean, they kind of have the rounded front, the longer front, the bed. They all look generally the same. But the Jeep Gladiator is unique, and it sets it apart from other mid-sized trucks out there. So it's going to draw attention just because of that alone. Anyway, I'd be curious to know, if you're driving a Jeep Gladiator, are you surprised at how much attention that it gets? Do you get a lot of people that want to talk about it when you're out running around, or maybe stopping at the gas station or the grocery store or the mall, you know, the mall crawlers? Do you get a lot of attention? Do people want to talk about it? And are they genuinely interested, or they're just curious because they've never seen it before? I'd be curious to know. Leave a comment. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive MT, all about mini trucks, which do get a lot of attention as well. Currently, the Hyundai Santa Cruz. And Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.